My name is Bob Kagan, and I teach in the Communication Department at Central Connecticut State University. Ironically, as we talk, I'm finishing my 40th year as a teacher. And I never intended to be a teacher. I worked in the industry in broadcasting and public affairs for a number of years and started teaching part-time when I was 26 years old. And I cringe when I think back to the first classes that I taught because they were so top-heavy in lecture and so lacking student involvement and participation. So over the years, I've tried to move towards a situation, especially in the area of video production, where I provide students with information about techniques, whether it's scripting or camera usage or editing. We review films, whether they're feature films, whether they're YouTube clips, or whether there's student work that's been done in past classes. And then students have projects. And a number of the projects are group projects, which I think are tremendously important. A group project because no matter what profession you're going to work in the 21st century, you're going to have to be part of a team. And some of the most successful students I've ever had in terms of being successful when they graduate and getting into a career may not have been the students who had the 4.0 average or who were considered brainiacs, but they were the students who had good human relation, good interpersonal skills, and were able to work effectively in a group as the group moved towards a goal. So that's a big part of my class. And the whole philosophy of my teaching is based on a couple of premises. The students will learn more from themselves than they will from the teacher. So the teacher can provide basic information and guidance, but everything else is available on YouTube or the internet. Second premise is students learn best when they're actively engaged in their education. So the whole philosophy is learn by doing, and I intentionally make students do projects, especially video projects, when they don't have the grounding yet, when they don't know everything about a camera or they don't know editing software. But as they get further and further into the projects, they'll learn more and more and essentially enhance their technical skills and proficiency as the term goes on and as they move from an introductory course to a secondary course. A third premise that I think is terribly important and that I see a lot of very technically proficient and knowledgeable teachers falling short on is you have to have respect for students and you have to make them feel good about themselves. If you build up a student and set a high bar, he or she will likely reach that bar if they're willing to put in the work. On the other hand, if you tear down a student and trash talk their work and disrespect them, all that will do is create a situation where they resent you and their work performance is going to be suboptimal and it's not going to be a good educational experience. I've seen too many students who've been turned off by a professor who may have been absolutely creatively brilliant and technically proficient, but didn't have a clue in terms of how you motivate people. And that motivation component goes far beyond a teacher-student relation. Think of supervisors in a workplace, think of chairmen, think of team leaders. I think being able to understand people and motivate people and get them to reach their peak performance, I think that's the key to successful teaching.